our presentation is on alcohol abuse among young adults. So why are young adults at high risk for alcohol abuse? They are especially likely to binge drink, which is consuming 5 or more drinks in a row at least once in the past month. And most young adults don't know what a standard drink consists of, which can be 12 fluid ounces of beer, 5 fluid ounces of wine, or 1.5 fluid ounces of distilled spirits. Around 12.4 million young adults exceed the daily recommended intake for alcohol consumption, and around 3.9 million young adults exceed the weekly recommended intakes for alcohol consumption.
During the teen years to the age of 25, the brain's development is the most crucial. In the brain, there are 5 major parts: the frontal lobe, the temporal lobe, the cerebellum, the hypothalamus, and the brainstem, each one having a different responsibility. The frontal lobe is where the decision making happens. The temporal lobe processes information like sound, speech, your memories, and what you learn. The cerebellum focuses mostly on motor skills, such as your coordination, how you maintain your balance, and how you control your movements. The hypothalamus releases hormones and regulates your temperature, your hunger, your thirst, and manages your sexual behaviors. The brainstem sends information in and out of the brain into the body. While still in development, young teens and adults, without knowing it, disrupt their development when excessive drinking is involved. When alcohol is being consumed, the sensation of being drunk is the alcohol affecting the different regions of the brain, disrupting the development. The frontal lobe is always affected first. You start to feel the feeling of more relaxed. You start to talk more freely. You also may do things that you will regret. As the drinking continues, your level of concentration is lowered and you have less control over your emotions. The hypothalamus. If you've ever been drinking, then you've probably experienced the sensation of wanting to pee. Well, this is due to the blocked signals the hormone sends to the kidney, making it so the water in your system is thrown into the waste. The cerebellum. Losing your balance, tripping, falling over. This is alcohol affecting your cerebellum. These lead to more injuries while intoxicated. Temporal lobe. The most common thing to happen to a person that is directly affecting to the temporal lobe is called a blackout. At this level, you are more likely to do and say things that you're most likely not going to say, and it's more out of character for you.
Consumption. So for many young adults, this is kind of an age where they get to explore new things, especially because they're moving out of their parents' house into college dorms or apartments, so they're experiencing a new sense of freedom away from their parents, and they start to become more influenced by their new college life or by new friends that they've made. So the parental influences are weakened while peer influences are kind of strengthened. And they're on their own, so they can make their own decisions, which can include drinking alcohol. And conflicts will arise with school, work, and maybe new friends, which can lead to frustration and stress, which can lead to unhealthy behaviors such as binge drinking. So there are many factors that can influence alcohol abuse, but not all these factors can apply to an individual. So for gender, it has been found that men are more likely to binge drink or drink in general, than women are. And for race and ethnicity, whites view drinking more as part of a normal lifestyle. Hispanics and African Americans, their heavy drinking habits would develop later in life. And for Hispanics, they believed that heavy drinking was a right to be earned when they reached a certain level of maturity. Asians were seen to have the lowest rates for binge drinking. And peer influences, many new students may feel the need to drink to be accepted into a friend group, and they typically believe the phrase that everyone in college drinks and that drinking is acceptable, so they just kind of follow the crowd. And then on most college campuses, there's Greek life, which include fraternities and sororities. And most of Greek life, they include hazing as part of their initiation process, and hazing usually includes alcohol. Research shown that 4 out of 5 fraternity or sorority members are binge drinkers. So, some consequences of heavy drinking in college: performing poorly in class. Most college students, it was an estimated 1 in every 4 college students admit to having poor grades due to their drinking habits. And then there's risking injuries. So drinking can increase a person's risk of injury, ranging from minor cuts to broken bones to a concussion. And they can become a victim of assault. Most predators prey on those who are intoxicated, mostly females, but it can apply to males as well, because the victim is likely too intoxicated to fight back, or they pass out before they remember what happened. And committing criminal activities, many highly intoxicated college students will partake in driving under the influence, vandalism, property damage, and other criminal activities that they wouldn't do if they were sober. And there are many health concerns with alcohol as well, such as motor-related injuries, like we said, driving under the influence. This can also include drownings, falls, and burns. Alcohol poisoning, which is any medical emergency that results in the hospital due to high alcohol levels. And STIs, a teen who is intoxicated is more likely to engage in risky sexual behaviors. And then cancer can form in the breast, mouth, lung, or liver. There's alcohol dependence that can occur later in life.
With all of this being said, alcohol isn't necessarily a bad thing. Alcohol can have some benefits to it, but only if in moderation. And by moderation, meaning 1 to 2 drinks a day. It can reduce the chances of getting a heart disease and a stroke. But it's not risk-free. If you decide to drink it. It can reduce the chances of getting a heart disease and stroke. But it's not risk-free. So if you decide to drink a light, moderate amount, and do so responsibly, please. Well, that's all from us. Have a good day.